What is up, fifth grade? Mr. Gambaruti here with another episode of Mr. G's Math Videos. We are going to be continuing our series in fractions. Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to subtract fractions that are mixed numbers without regrouping. We'll make a video over subtraction of fractions when we do have to regroup, but this one's going to be without regrouping. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So I'm going to be subtracting 3 4/5 minus 1 1/3. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to rewrite this problem like I would be doing subtraction through standard algorithm. So I'm going to be rewriting it and lining everything up vertically. So 3 4/5 minus 1 1/3 should be stacked. Everything should be lined up. The whole numbers lined up with the whole numbers. The fractions lined up with the fractions. So my very first step is I want to subtract just the whole numbers. 3 minus 1. That is going to give me a whole number of 2. Then I want to find a common denominator between my fractions, 4/5 and 1/3. So I'm going to do my strategy for lowest common multiple. I'm going to list out my 5s, and then I'm going to list out my 3s and look to see what they have in common. I can see that they both have 15 in common. So I'm going to be changing 4/5 to 15ths and 1/3 to 15ths. The way I change 4/5 to 15ths is multiplying it by 3. That is going to give me an equivalent fraction of 12 15ths. And then 1/3 I'm going to be multiplying by 5. That is going to give me an equivalent fraction of 5 15ths. Now that they have a common denominator, I am able to subtract. And remember, when we add and subtract fractions, we only add and subtract the numerators. The denominators stay the same. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract those. 12 minus 5 is 7. And then I'm going to combine my whole number and new fraction to make a mixed number, which is going to be 2 7/15. All right, let's take a look at another example using the same strategy. So I've got 6 2/3 minus 2 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that so they are stacked vertically. And again, the first step I want to do is subtract the whole numbers. 6 minus 2, that is going to give me a total of 4. Now I'm ready to convert these fractions so they have common denominators. I'm going to list out my 3s. I'm going to list out my 4s. And then I see that there's a common denominator of 12. So I'm going to times 2/3 by 4 to make 12. And I'm going to times 1/4 by 3 to make 12. My new fraction is going to be 8/12 and 3/12. I am now able to subtract. 8 minus 3 is 5, and I'm going to be over 12. Combine your whole number and fraction, and I get 4 5/12. All right, last example that I'm going to show you. 5 3/4 minus 2 3/8. We're going to rewrite those so they're in standard algorithm. We're going to subtract the whole numbers. 5 minus 2, that's going to give me 3. And then I'm going to look for a common denominator in 4ths and 8ths. Here are my 4s, my 8s, and I see that they share a common denominator of 8. So I'm going to convert 3/4 by multiplying it by 2. I'm going to convert 3/8 by multiplying by 1 because it's already in 8s. It will not change. 3/4 will become 6/8. 3/8 is going to stay the same. 6 minus 3 is going to be 3, and my denominator will not change. So I get a total of 3/8. And then I'm going to combine my whole number and my fraction to get 3 3/8. All right, so that is our strategy for subtracting mixed numbers. Now it's your turn. I would like you to try this problem on your own. 3 5/6 minus 2 1/3. Go ahead and hit that pause button. See if you can work this problem out on scratch paper. And when you're done, go ahead and unpause it and I'll walk you through the answer. All right, let's see how you did. So first step is we're going to rewrite these as a standard algorithm subtraction problem where we stack place values, ones over ones, fraction over fraction. First step is we are going to subtract our whole numbers. 3 minus 2, that gave us 1. And now I want to find a common denominator among 5, 6, and 1/3. So I'm going to list out my 6's, 6, 12, 18. I'm going to list out my 3's, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And then I'm going to be circling a common multiple that they share. And I can see that they actually share two multiples. They share a 6 and a 12. Now remember, we want to choose the lowest common multiple. So I'm not going to choose 12. I'm going to choose the 6. And so I know that 5, 6 is already in 6, so that's not going to change. And then 1/3 I'm going to be multiplying by 2. And that's going to give me a new fraction of 2, 6. Now I'm able to subtract 5, 6 minus 2, 6, which is going to give me a total of 3, 6. Combine your whole number and your new fraction, make a mixed number, 1 and 3, 6. And that's our answer to our problem. How did you do? Did you get it right? If you did, awesome job. If not, why don't you go back and re-watch this video? Maybe you can do a couple more practice problems on your own. And that is going to wrap it up for our video today, guys. It's a short one. The strategy is pretty straightforward. The biggest thing is just remembering to convert those fractions so they have a common denominator, and then we only subtract the numerators. I appreciate everybody watching this video today and working on your subtraction of fractions and becoming a fraction master. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you get recent alerts of all our videos. And that's going to do it for me, guys. Until next time, keep on mathin'.